Hey people of the places. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has just come out, and the reviews are very split. As I am recording, 51% positive on Steam. So let's talk about what went wrong. But first, a little positivity. Let's talk about the good stuff. As far as remaking the original, they've done a relatively good job leaving things where they should have been, and not just changing things for the sake of changing things. I think a lot of the changes they made were necessary, important, and valuable. The story holds up, they haven't changed too much, they haven't removed the original voice actors, they haven't removed the original motion capture for most of the cutscenes. The graphics look really, really good, and as I'm sure you've heard, they added crouch as well as swimming to the game. Stealth system has been overhauled so that you can now actually sneak around rather than just hiding behind objects, walking far away from people, and awkwardly standing in a bush. You can actually crouch behind objects, and crouch far away from people, and even crouch in a bush. You can swim in every little pond of water so long as it's deep enough, and I did swim in every little pond of water so long as it was deep enough. I also tried to swim in every other pond of water, and creek, and, piss puddle that this man left in the middle of the street by these barrels for no reason. But there are some things that they actually added to the game that make a significant difference in the gameplay and the overall feel of the game, and I am so happy that they did. Let's talk about combat first. They've changed the combat system significantly. It used to be very bland and cinematic, and now it is epic and complicated and in-depth and sometimes cinematic, and sometimes your view is blocked by that fucking tree. But overall, I think it's a really good, beneficial change for the game. It's honestly some of the best combat in any Assassin's Creed game, and I have played most of them. In the prologue, pretty much immediately, they give you 4 flintlock pistols, which of course makes it easier to hunt, and shoot enemies from long distances, and deal with 4 different guards, and also fuck that guy's face, he didn't need it anyway. And they add quite a bit of comic relief to what is oftentimes a very serious game. While that may not be a benefit for some people, for me, I certainly enjoyed it a little bit more. The ship combat hasn't changed much, except for the entire fucking weather system. So now there are lightning strikes and water spouts and fucking rogue waves that you have to steer into or get knocked off course. And during storms, your ship will get blown all to fucking hell. So you have no choice but to turn into the wind and change directions, all while you're trying to actually line up your shot on your enemy. It makes it pretty fucking cool. Now the ship combat is relatively similar, but the upgrade system is different, especially with your crewmates that you now have quests to go add. It really feels like you're going on a quest for a new upgrade rather than gaining a crew member, because the storylines are pretty bland and don't really have a lot of depth, and during all of them, Edward seems to treat these people basically just like an upgrade. It's a little bit awkward and not in a good way. The new quest, A World Without Gold, is kind of strange. It really misses the tone at the point that you're likely to experience it, and to me it just felt like Edward forgot all of the character growth that I just watched him go through for the last 20 hours. And of course, being modern Ubisoft, they didn't use motion capture for the cutscenes, which means it looks pretty janky. Another thing to note, though I'm not sure this is a negative exactly, they did remove the modern day portions of the game. In the original game, I didn't really enjoy being pulled out of my pirate fantasy to go spend 5 minutes walking around a high-tech office space, so this isn't really a problem for me. The only real gripe I have with the gameplay changes that they've made is the parkour system, which has a tendency to guess where you're going, but very badly, and send you plummeting down into the middle of the market square or street, or, off the ship into the water when you're trying to obviously jump onto an object that's 4 feet in front of you. Especially since during the parkour, a lot of the time you're just holding the W key and it's supposed to take you where you want to go, and it decides to move you left or right without any particular reason, as well as just being a little clunky at times. But I do think it served its purpose as far as a means for the game, and I don't think it makes the game significantly worse. Just doesn't improve on anything. It feels very lateral rather than an improvement. As far as the gameplay elements, I would probably give the game an 8 out of 10. It is a good, faithful remake of the original game, and I really enjoyed it. Problematically, it's also highly priced and releases with a ton of DLC, totaling more than the price of the deluxe edition of the game. And there are also microtransactions, which even has a pop-up at one point directing you to the store so you can buy more resources less than an hour into the game. It's absurd. I don't really get who this is marketed towards, because you can't even use it to show off. there's no one else playing with you, it's a single-player game, so you're essentially just giving them money to play less of the game. If the goal is to give them money to not play the game, there are plenty of charity organizations you can waste $200 on, or, I don't know, fire pits you can burn it in. At the end of the day, I don't understand why it really exists, other than, obviously, just to make them money. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to, I don't know, go out on the street, make a sign, start a protest, light your shoes on fire, or pee in your fireplace.